They tell you that residency ends in a year or 4, that you pack up your locker and you walk out the door. But I stayed a resident in the chambers of the past, in a hospital of memories that I thought would always last. I was specialized in maybe, I was board certified in ghosts, playing the silent waiter to 1,000 different toasts. I kept the files updated, I kept the lights undimmed, watching the chance of us grow ancient and thin. But the heart's residency, it's finally over now. I finished my training, I'm taking my vow. I'm moving out of the shadows, out of the could have been. I'm opening the windows and letting the world in. The long night is over, the shifts are all through. I've graduated from the dream of you. Spent 30 years on call, waiting for a sound, while the world kept on spinning and the clock wound around. I diagnosed my longing as a chronic condition and accepted the silence as my only mission. But that dream was the diploma, that dream was the sign that the life I was missing was already mine. I don't need to check the vitals or monitor the spark. I can finally walk home through the quiet and the dark. It's time to grow. No more hours, no more hello. The white coat is heavy, the hallways are long, but I'm leaving them now at the tail of this song. But the heart for residency, it's finally over now. I finished my training, I'm taking my vow. I'm moving out of the shadows, out of the could have been. I'm opening the windows and letting the world in. The long night is over, the shifts are all through. I've graduated from the dream of you. charts, I had the files, but I couldn't bridge the shortest miles. I was a student of the human frame, but I trembled when I heard your name. I hid behind the jargon and the pride, while the boy inside me slowly died. I diagnosed the world but missed the sign that your heart was beating close to mine. It's the unspoken consult, the silent plea, the words that stay locked inside of me, for the broken hearts who waited too long, who traded the truth for a lonely song. I let the silence be my only defense, and lost the love that made perfect sense. A consultation with a ghost. Owns a human heart, but I didn't know how to play my own part. I hid behind the charts and the sterile white walls, while your ghost was echoing through the halls. Now the silence is a debt that I wishing I had found the worst to make you stay. No more professional masks, no more clinical prime, opening the doors I used to hide inside. The silent plea, the words have stayed locked inside of me, for the broken hearts who waited too long, who traded the truth for only song. The consultation is over. I'm finally free. The sterile halls under fluorescent lights, two young hearts working through the nights. I wore a white coat, but I was just a boy, terrified of feelings I didn't know how to employ. I played it cool, I kept the distance wide, while a hurricane was building up inside. I let my pride be the wall I couldn't climb. watched you walk away into a different time. Now I see you in the lobby once every 4 years, behind the professional masks and the career cheers. A polite hello and nod across the room, while the ghost of what we were begins to bloom. I don't know why I fell in love with your soul, but 30 years later, it's still making me whole. It wasn't the timing, and it wasn't the grace. It was the eternal light I saw in your face. Yeah, the logic is gone, and the years took their toll, but I don't know why I fell in love with your S-O-O-O-O-L. I lived my life, and you lived yours too. Married to a man who wasn't me, it's true. I kept the what-ifs locked in a heavy chest, thinking silence was the way to give the heart a rest. But the mind is a mystery, a map of the deep, and it brought me back to you while I was fast asleep. Last night you sat beside me in a dream so clear. The distance vanished, and so did the fear. I poured out the bottle, let the secrets fly. Every I love you, I was too afraid to try. You listened with the sky, you held my hand so tight, and you gave me a beginning in the middle of the whispered to the air, but I'm finally at peace. I'm finally there. Just your That's your soul. Every 4 years, the calendar turns, and a fire I buried begins to burn. In a room full of daggers under sterile light, I search for your face, I avoid your sight. A professional nod, a courtesy smile, while my soul is running 1,000 miles. You're a stranger now with a life I don't know, but the roots of the past, they continue to grow. Oh, this clinical silence, there's a heavy weight between the hello and the hand of fate, for the persevering hearts who carry the flame through decades of life and a different name. I'm a master medicine, a scholar of pain, but I'm still just a man standing out in the rain. You married him, and the world kept turning, but deep in the cells, the fever's still burning. I thought I was a master of the human heart, but I didn't know how to play my own part. I hid behind the charts and the sterile white walls, while your ghost was echoing through the halls. Now the silence is a debt that I finally pay, wishing I had found the words to make you stay. No more professional masks, no more clinical pride. I'm opening the doors I used to hide inside. It's the unspoken consult, the silent plea, the words that stay locked inside of me. For the broken hearts who waited too long, who traded the truth for a lonely song. The consultation is over. You talk about the patience and the latest breakthrough, but every word I say is really meant for you. A master of medicine, a scholar of the bone, but in this crowded room I never felt so alone. I watch you walk away into your different life, while the words I didn't say cut like a surgical knife. The roots of the past, they won't let go. Under the surface, they continue to grow. This clinical silence is a heavy weight between the hello and the hand of fate. Silence is the loudest sound I know. I studied the nerves, I studied the bone. I learned the secrets that the marrow had known. Every muscle, every vein, every rhythmic beat. But science was silent when our eyes had to meet. It wasn't the symmetry or the light in your hair. It was a frequency vibrating through the air. I looked for the source in the textbooks I read, but I found it in the things that were never quite said. It's the anatomy of a soul beyond the physical. A love so deep it feels almost clinical. I can map the brain, I can track the blood, but I'm drowning in this spiritual flood. I don't need a scalpel to see what is true. The anatomy of my soul is a map leading to you. Is it chemistry? Is it just a spark? Or is it a map drawn in the dark? I can name the vows, I can name the parts, but I can't explain the science of heart. It's a phantom frequency, a spiritual flood that runs much deeper than the oxygen and blood. I don't need a scalpel to see what is real. I'm a student of the way that you make me feel. The anatomy of my soul is a map leading to you. The anatomy of my soul is a map leading to you. Calendar pages fell like leaves in the park. I was a man wandering around in the dark. 30 years and how are you? And good to see you again. While hiding the boy that I was back then, I built a life on the surface, solid and tall, but your name was the graffiti on every inner wall. Waiting for a sunrise I didn't think would come, marching to the beat of a silent drum. It took years to find the morning light, to walk out of the shadow of that long, lonely night. From the first day I saw you to the man I am now, the sunrise is breaking and I'm making a vow to let the years go and let the heart beat. 30 years to sunrise, and now I can see finally went to sleep and gave you a promise I could keep. I didn't need a hall or a crowded room to pull the heart out of the tomb. There you were, sitting right by my side. No walls to climb, nowhere to hide. I unbottled the years, I let the truth spill, and the world for a moment stood perfectly still. I don't know why I fell in love with your soul, but the dream was the thing that finally made me whole. For the hearts that found it and the hearts that lost, for the love that survived and a terrible cost that finished my rounds. I've settled the score, I'm not the boy in the hallways anymore. I woke up breathing, I woke up free. What a lovely morning, just you and me. I'd beat a needle light, I'd beat a needle light to find the truth in the middle of the night. There we were, sitting on a bench in the haze, walking out of the professional maze. I'd unbottle these, I let the spirit fly, and finally looked you straight in the eye. No walls to climb, nowhere to hide. The ego is gone, and I'm open wide. I don't know why I fell in love with your soul, but the dream was the thing that finally made me whole. I woke up free, my soul is home, and it's you I see. This one's for the ones who keep the light on long after the person they loved has gone. For the ones who see a face in every passing crowd and whisper a name they can't say out loud. I'm a member of the club, I've paid my dues in the currency of everything I had to lose. It's a quiet perseverance, a stubborn kind of grace, to keep a sacred corner for a single face. For the longing hearts, the ones who endure, for the love that is raw, for the love that is pure. Whether you found it or lost it along the way, whether you're standing in the sun self-preservation. They had their turn, but they couldn't extinguish the way that I burn. 30 years is a desert, 30 years is a sea, but the longing was the only thing that felt like me. I see it in the eyes of the patience I treat, the same kind of shadow, the same kind of heat. We are all just sailors looking for the soul of the love that we thought didn't live anymore. It's not a weakness, it's not a mistake to love with a heart that you cannot slug. Hold on through the silence and the years, through the ocean of the tears. For the longing in hearts, the ones who endure, for the love that is raw, for the love that is pure. Whether you found it or lost it along the way, whether you're standing in the sun or the gray, love is the engine, the power, the soul. It's the only thing that ever makes us whole. The longing is a bridge, and I'm finally crossing over for the hearts like mine. Spent a lifetime studying the code, the way the blood travels down the road. I thought I understood the rules of the breath, the fight for survival, the distance from death. We're taught that the brain is the king on the throne, that we live by the logic of marrow and bone. But there's a glitch in the science, a beautiful flaw that breaks every rule and defies every law. Self-preservation says walk away, logic says there's nothing left to say. But the charts are all wrong and the data is blind when a higher power takes over the mind. Because love is the engine, the greatest of powers. It leads every heartbeat, it leads all the hours. I am margin so wide that the world falls behind. It's the only true map that the spirit can find. And logic, it's a distant second place to the light that I find in the curve of your face. Self-preservation is a ghost in the wind when the rain of the soul finally begins. I wore the white coat to keep myself safe, to hide the unmanners, silent heartbreak. I thought I could analyze why I was torn, but you can't measure starlight or why we are born. 30 years of silence was a critical test, but true that the heart never really can rest. It's the most powerful force in the human design, and I finally felt it when your hand touched mine.
Trade 1,000 degrees for a single smile. It's the lead, it's the life, it's the life, it's the end of the struggle. Let me out of the strife, because love is the engine, the greatest of powers. It leads every heartbeat, it leads all the hours. I am marching so wide that the world falls behind. It's the only true map that the spirit can find. Logic is second, head second place to the miracle I found in your grace. That's the medical metaphor. Love is the lead, the soul is for.
1,460 days lost in the professional clinical haze. Then I see your name on the conference list, a ghost of a feeling I should have dismissed. I check my tie, I steady my hand, the most nervous doctor in the whole of the land. A minute of small talk, a lifetime of stay. Then I watch you walk 4 more years away. It's the 4-year interval, the rhythm of a life, balanced on the edge of a surgical knife. For the hearts that hold on when they should let go, for the seeds that stay buried under the snow. I'm living for the minute, I'm dying for the hour, when the silence between us loses its power. You tell me of your children, I tell you of the job, while my pulse starts to race and my chest starts to throb. The lecture is starting, the room's getting full, but I'm caught in the gravity, I'm caught in the pull. I wanna say wait, I wanna say no, but I let the politeness put on a show. We're masters of science, we're experts of care, but we're both breathing in the same heavy air. 4 years of winter, 1 hour of spring, waiting to see what the calendar brings. Is it enough? Is it a crime to love you in the gaps of the fabric of time? It's the 4-year interval, the rhythm of a life, balanced on the edge of a surgical knife. For the hearts that hold on when they should let go, for the seeds that stay buried under the snow. I'm living for the minute, I'm dying for the hour, when the silence between us loses its power. See you in 4 years, when the dream comes first. The interval. the weight